Lesson 340. I can be free of suffering today.
Hi there. Have you ever pondered your conscious and unconscious beliefs about suffering? Do you believe that life inherently involves suffering, or do you think it's possible to be free of suffering? Let's explore what Lesson 340 has to reveal to us on this topic.
I can be free of suffering today. Father, I thank you for today, and for the freedom I am certain it will bring. This day is holy, for today your Son will be redeemed. His suffering is done. For he will hear your voice directing him to find Christ's vision through forgiveness, and be free forever from all suffering. Thanks for today, my Father. I was born into this world but to achieve this day, and what it holds in joy and freedom for your Holy Son and for the world he made, which is released along with him today.
Be glad today. Be glad. There is no room for anything but joy and thanks today. Our Father has redeemed his Son this day. Not one of us but will be saved today. Not one who will remain in fear, and none the Father will not gather to himself, awake in heaven in the heart of love.
In other words, let's put this lesson in the context of our previous ones. In our minds, we have the voice of our ego and the voice of our true self. It's up to us to decide which one we will listen to at any given moment. For all of our lives, we've been listening to the voice of ego, which often has been nothing more than the echoes of the inputs we received from the outside world and the interpretations we made based on past experiences and beliefs. Undoubtedly, following this path has led us to nothing but suffering. However, through the daily training we're undertaking with the lessons from A Course in Miracles, we're learning that there's another way to view our lives, the people we interact with, and the world we live in every day. We're learning that we can align our will with our true will, which is the same as the will of God. And we can align our actions accordingly. We're learning that we're not compelled to listen to the thoughts popping into our heads, which are likely caused by our ego. We can pause, ground ourselves in our true essence, and listen to the Holy Spirit. We have an invaluable guidance system in our lives. It's free and readily available for us to use. We're learning that forgiveness is the key to our happiness and our vision. Through forgiveness, we can see a different world and understand that our purpose on this earth is to love and be an expression of love, as God intended. That's why we're here, and ultimately, nothing else matters or will matter when our earthly experience ends. We're learning that our true reality exists beyond the notion of time as we know it and is also beyond the concept of space. Yet, it can be accessible right here, in the present moment. That's why today we're saying,
I can be free of suffering today.
and finally, we're learning that we are not separate bodies living in a finite world, nor are we separate selves. Instead, we are part of a whole that we've come to know as oneness. We're not separate from God, nor are we separate from each other. In fact, we exist in a holographic universe where in our brother, we can find the reflection of our very own true self. And did I forget to mention that we're also learning that we are the beloved Son of God? We are created in God's image, and we remain as God created us. We've never changed because we are unalterable in our holiness and perfection. Now, considering all that we've been learning, is it too hard to believe that we can be free of suffering today?
I can be free of suffering today.
I can be free of suffering today.
I can be free of suffering today.
Amazing, right? Isn't it incredible to think that we can choose to be free from suffering and embrace a life filled with joy and love? We just need to make a choice, and it all boils down to which voice we're listening to in our head at any given moment, our ego or the Holy Spirit. Continue with your practices morning and evening, and remember this idea every hour today. And whenever you feel any slight upset or more noticeable suffering creeping into your life, pause for a moment and remind yourself,
I can be free of suffering today.
You're doing great. See you tomorrow for another powerful lesson and the introduction to a new section of A Course in Miracles. One final note, today we're concluding the section titled What is the Ego? If you've joined us recently or would like a refresher, simply click on the video link that will appear on your screen shortly.
If you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, please don't forget to give it a like and leave a comment. Thanks. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. There's a new lesson every day.